Hi, I'm here with Dan Riley, admissions counselor at Emerson College in Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you so much for doing this. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and the school you represent?
Of course, yeah. So thank you all for having me today. My name is Dan Riley. I work in college admissions at Emerson College up in Boston, Massachusetts. We're a small liberal arts institution that has an emphasis in communication and the arts. Just trying to pull up my presentation really quickly for our students. And then I'm an admissions counselor, as I mentioned. So I work with new first-time students. I recruit in all of Jersey except for Essex County. I do Pennsylvania, upstate New York, Delaware, and a handful of other areas as well. So I get to work with lots of students throughout the country, which is really exciting. Can you all see my screen okay?
Yeah, I can see it, so they should be able to.
Okay, perfect. So I can go ahead and get right into things with Emerson. So, to talk a little bit about the school, we were originally founded as a school of elocution, oratory, and the arts in the 1880s. But since then, the school has evolved and emerged to really focus in communication and the arts. So, those are the um, two main focuses that our school really specializes in. We're right in the heart of downtown Boston, Massachusetts. So as you can see over here, it's an excellent location. There's tons of different colleges within Boston, so you can network and connect with lots of students from other institutions. And Boston is also very walkable. It's a city that's really rich with history, and it has a really strong sports presence as well. We're about, I would say, 15 to 20-minute walk from TD Garden where the Boston Bruins and Celtics play if you ever wanted to catch one of those games. Um, so the school is on the smaller side. We've got about 4,000 undergraduate students, and then we have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. One of my favorite things about this is the fact that students can get a lot of individualized learning one-on-one time between their professor because it's on the smaller side. And then we have geographic representation from about 49 states and 70 countries. We have a pretty strong international population on campus. And then there's 5 residence halls. So housing at Emerson, one of our most frequently asked questions is, how does housing work being in an urban environment? And we require and guarantee housing for your first 3 years on campus, which is something that I think is really unique to being in the city. Some other city-based schools usually only allow, maybe 1 to 2 years, but we do 3. And then during senior year, lots of our students work with our office of off-campus student services if they want to, get assistance to find an apartment or off-campus housing that's within an affordable budget and appropriate commuting distance from campus. We also have 3 campuses. Everyone can hear okay?
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So just to recap, I was talking about our 3 campuses. So we have that one in Boston, Massachusetts. That's our main one. And then we also have one in Castile Well in the Netherlands, and then we have one in Los Angeles, California. So those are our 3 campuses total. So one of my favorite graphics of Boston, and just kind of get an idea of where we're located in the heart of the city, is this graphic over here. So you can see we're right overlooking the Boston Public Garden and the Boston Common. Our campus makes up about these 5 city blocks on Boylston and Tremont Street. And again, Boston is a very walkable city, so you can get from one end of campus to the other within probably about a 5-minute walk. To talk a little bit more about our other campuses, so we have Emerson Los Angeles, which is open to seniors. So you would apply for Emerson Los Angeles at the fall or spring of your junior year for admission into that program during fall or spring of your senior year. And Emerson Los Angeles is an internship-styled program. So it's targeted towards students who want to pursue an internship either part-time or full-time, and then take about 2 to 3 courses on the West Coast. It's open to students of all majors. So, whether you're someone who is studying communications or maybe you're studying visual media arts, um, all students can take advantage of this program during their senior year. And it's in an excellent location right on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. So you're truly in one of the strongest entertainment hubs in the country.
Cool. Yeah.
And then this is our Castile Well campus. So Castile Well is located in the Netherlands. This one, again, is open to students of all majors. Typically, students take advantage of this program during fall or spring of their sophomore year, although we have had some juniors attend this program as well. The courses offered at Castile Well are at the 200 to 300 level. So that's something to keep in mind if you're interested in, studying here during your junior year, that you would have, sophomore and junior courses offered to you. So if you wanted to do it like senior year or so, it probably wouldn't be the best idea because the courses offered here are at that 200 to 300 level. But this is a great opportunity for students to be taught by professors who you wouldn't normally get the opportunity to be taught by. With Castile Well, it has an emphasis on, traveling as well. So students have the opportunity to travel and explore neighboring countries, whether you want to go to France, Germany, Switzerland. Traveling in Europe is a lot more accessible than traveling in the States. So there's lots of opportunities to do some exploring during weekends and in your free time as well. Now to talk about majors. So when it comes to Emerson, we have the School of Communication and then the School of the Arts that make up the college together. So within our School of Communication, we have really strong programs within business, communications, journalism. And if you look over at the School of the Arts, we've got really specific programs within writing, literature, publishing, creative writing, if you wanted to go into the English field, performing arts, and then visual media arts. We also implemented 2 new majors this past academic cycle. So the new majors that are going to be offered for students who are enrolled and coming to the college this upcoming fall in 2023 are health and social change and media psychology. So health and social change is targeted towards students who want to go into areas like healthcare advocacy, if you wanted to do hospital management, public health, anything in those fields. It really blends analyzing healthcare, and then there's also a social justice component to it. And then media psychology is targeted towards students who want to go into essentially the psychology of consumerism. So when it comes to marketing, branding, image strategy, what are the best techniques and approaches that you should be utilizing towards your targeted audience to make sure that whatever product or company you're working for is well received. So health and social change is within our communication disorders department, and then media psychology is within our marketing communication department. It's important to keep in mind that certain programs do require additional material to be submitted. So if you're interested in performing arts, we have onstage, backstage, and offstage majors. So our onstage majors require either a pre-screen in the event of musical theater or an audition for theater and performance and theater education and performance. Our backstage majors, such as theater design technology and stage production management, require a portfolio review and an interview with one of our faculty members in performing arts. And then our offstage majors like theater and theater education require an additional essay. For students interested in visual media arts like media studies and media arts production, while it's not required, we do encourage students to submit a digital portfolio. It could be a screenplay that students have worked on. It could be a short film that they've worked on, any editorial work. So it's important to keep that in mind. For our comedic arts major, that program also requires a creative sample. So if you're interested in being considered for that and want to submit a short video of you doing stand-up comedy, maybe sketch comedy or improvisation, you're more than welcome to do that. That's a little bit about the majors and the programs that we offer. We also offer a wide variety of minors at Emerson. So they make up about 16 to 20 credits, which translates to about 4 to 6 courses. Students can pursue a minor as early as their first year. And we have what we refer to as applied minors and then also liberal arts minors. So those applied minors correlate to some of our major departments, and then the liberal arts minors correlate to the liberal arts curriculum at Emerson. We also have what we refer to as global portal programs for students who want to spend the majority of their college experience abroad. So we offer a global BFA in film art in Paris through Paris College of Art. Now, this is a cohort-styled program. So how it works is students spend the majority of their academic years in Paris, France. And then they also have the opportunity to do summer semesters at our Boston campus, and then also at that Castile-Well Netherlands campus too. This program is targeted towards students who want to go into experimental filmmaking, if you want to go into film art, if you wanted to really have that opportunity to do a lot of hands-on field work. So students can do lots of projects where they go to different art galleries and studios in Paris. So I think it's a really quite unique program.
Yeah.
And then we also have a global portal program through Franklin University in Lugano, Switzerland, which is, I would say, close to the Italian border of Switzerland, so you think the south of it. We have 2 global portal programs through Franklin. So there's a global BA in Business of Creative Enterprises, and then one in International and Political Communication. So for this program, how it works is students spend, for both of these, students spend 2 years at Franklin University. They would receive an associate's degree from Franklin and then come back to Emerson for their remaining 2 years. So again, these are targeted both for students who want to spend the majority of their college experience abroad. Now, to go back to something I was talking a little bit about earlier, we have what we refer to as our curriculum structure at Emerson. So how it works is 60% of a student's curriculum at Emerson is made up of major, minor, and elective courses. And then the other 40% is made up of what we refer to as liberal arts courses. So these liberal arts courses are divided into foundations and perspectives. So the foundations are essentially an intro to college writing course, a research writing course, an introduction to college writing course, and then there's a speech communication component, and then students in that also have a first year seminar that they complete. So those are the foundation courses. And then the perspectives, which you can see over here on the screen, these are what other colleges or universities might call your gen ed, so to speak. So if you look over here, we've got a scientific perspective, there's a history, political perspective, a literary perspective. Now, these courses are the ones that can be fulfilled with some of those college credit courses you may be taking in high school. So with West Morris, I know you guys are on an IB curriculum. So we accept college credit through AP, IB, CLEP, and dual enrollment courses. So with IB courses in particular for IBHL and IBSL courses, with SL courses, we would accept credit in the form of 6 to 7s for certain programs, and then for HL1s, it would be within typically the 5 to 7 range. So I always encourage students to really take advantage of college level courses that are offered to them, so that way they can accrue some of those credits, and they can maybe pick up an additional minor if they want to, or maybe they want to pursue a double minor or even a double major, depending on their program. And then again, if you have dual enrollment opportunities in the Morris County area that you want to take advantage of, we would also take that into consideration for college credit as well. Now, we also have the Marlborough Institute for Liberal Arts and Interdisciplinary Studies. We actually have an interdisciplinary studies program for students who may want to create their own major. So they can essentially pull from different departments and create their own major. So listed on the screen before you are some examples of majors that students have created at Emerson. So for instance, one of our recent graduates, Harper McKenzie, she graduated in the class of 2021. She was really passionate about both creative writing, but also communication disorders. So she pulled from both of those departments to base her curriculum around how to use creative writing as a tool to assist students who are on the autism spectrum. So she titled her own major Creative Writing in Disability Studies. And now she works as a student success coordinator at Northeastern. So it's really nice to see how she was able to apply that to the work she's doing now. We also offer an honors program. So for students who are interested in the honors program, you would basically submit an additional essay in your application to Emerson. With the honors program, it is highly competitive. We admit about 50 students each academic cycle. When it comes to the honors program as well, there is a thesis project that students work towards during their senior year. So it's really targeted towards students who want to have a rigorous curriculum at Emerson. You would be in courses such as symposiums, writing seminars to really prepare you for that thesis project. And you'd be taking those upper level liberal arts courses that I previously mentioned. One of the benefits of the honors program is that it does come with annually renewable scholarship opportunity, which covers about half tuition. So that's certainly a great opportunity for students who want to take advantage of that. As you could probably guess from what I was discussing earlier, Emerson is a very hands-on learning environment. We have lots of opportunities for internships. The average Emerson student typically completes about 2 internships in their 4 years at the school, although some students do less and some students do more as well. If you look over here, these are some of the internships that some of our students have pursued in the past. So for instance, if you're a student who is interested in sports communication, we've had some students pursue internships through Nesson up in Boston, New England Sports Network, if they were interested in getting that hands-on experience to go into punditry and production, broadcasting, commentating on sports games within the greater Boston area. If you're interested in writing literature and publishing, there's opportunities to do internships at the Boston Public Library if you wanted to do Future House publishing. So that's just a little idea of what an Emerson student's internship may look like. We have lots of great engagement networking resources for students. So Emerge, which is the purple logo in the middle, that one is it's kind of an Emerson only LinkedIn type platform that's geared towards students who want to connect with staff, faculty, alumni, and other current students to work within the Emerson community. Our Career Development Center, students have access to that as early as their freshman year, first semester. So if you need assistance with finding internships, part-time, full-time work after graduation, they can work with you, go over cover letter workshops, resume workshops to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success when it comes time to applying for jobs nearing the end of your time at Emerson. One of my personal favorite resources is the Emerson College Mafia Facebook group. I know the name is a little bit bizarre, but that's how our Emerson community affectionately refers to our alumni network. So I should clarify, I'm actually an Emerson College alum myself.
Okay.
I graduated in 2021. So I studied theater education and performance when I was at Emerson. And because of that, I'm part of the Emerson Mafia Facebook group. And basically it has about 17,000 members. So these are current students and alumni. It's just those 2 types of people. So you're either an alum or you're a current student to have access to this group. And it's an excellent platform. Job opportunities are constantly posted every single day. Internship opportunities. If people need someone to look over a cover letter, if they have questions about a certain role, it's a great resource to connect with that. And I also think of it as a great resource if you're relocating for work too. So say, for instance, maybe you're going from the East Coast to the West Coast, and you're looking for housing, you're looking for roommates, you're looking for recommendations on fun activities to do in this new opportunity that you have. You can definitely post in the Mafia group to get a better idea of what other people are thinking in regards to that. And then that little red logo to the left is Handshake, which is another job search platform that we offer if you're looking to find on-campus work or also work after graduation. It's a really strong networking platform as well. So to talk about some of our notable alumni, I usually like to throw this in when I talk to students because it's fun. So some of our notable alumni include Jennifer Coolidge from The White Lotus. She was in Legally Blonde. She was a very well-established actress. Dennis Leary, who voiced Diego, the saber-toothed tiger in Ice Age. Jay Leno, who many people know from his talk show. We also have Maria Menounos. She's a pretty prominent television personality. Norman Lear. Trying to think of some of the other ones. We also have Zach Kornfeld from the Try Guys, which is a pretty well-established YouTube series. So we do have a wide range of different alum within the entertainment and communication-related industry. And I do personally think that some of our alumni engagement is the strongest within the nation.
Yeah.
Now to talk a little bit about student life and extracurricular opportunities. We have over 100 plus student organizations. There's a great platform called MConnect, which basically allows students to search these different organizations and go about how to network and connect with students. If they want to join an organization, we've got opportunities for religion, spiritual life. If you're interested in performance opportunities, whether it's theater, comedy, a cappella, radio, broadcasting organizations, our film-based organizations, if you want to join a publishing club, if you want to do a writer's circle. We've got organizations for Greek life as well. So if you're interested in going about recruitment for a fraternity or sorority, there's options for that too. And athletics. So there's intramural level athletics at Emerson, but then we also are a D3 school. So we have a total of 7 men and 7 women's D3 sports. If you're interested in going through the recruitment process during your college admissions process, if you wanted to be considered for one of those, there's definitely opportunities on Emerson athletics. So this is what I was talking a little bit about with MConnect. MConnect also has an event page where you can learn about all of the different events that are happening on campus. And all of these are open to students. If there may be certain ones open to staff, faculty, and students. So if you want to go about engaging with the community at Emerson, I highly recommend MConnect to learn about the different organizations and events that are taking place on campus. Now, before we wrap things up, I'll talk a little bit about the application process and the type of student we typically like to look for within an application. When it comes to applying, you can apply with either the Common App or the Emerson application. I encourage students to do Common App if they're applying to lots of schools, so it kind of acts as that central hub. That way you're not filling out multiple different college-specific applications. We ask you to submit 2 letters of recommendation, so that would be from a school guidance counselor and then also a full subject teacher. We define core subject as math, science, English, foreign language, and then social studies. You can submit more than those 2 letters. So say, for instance, maybe you have a part-time job in high school, or maybe you have, an art teacher, a computer science teacher, or someone who's not within that core subject that you also want to submit. You can do more than those 2, but we do need a minimum requirement of at least those 2. You'd be submitting all of your high school transcripts. So, whether you're a student who is going through the application process as a new first-time student during their junior year, their senior year, or maybe it's a student who has graduated, took a gap year, and then is going through that application process. After they graduated, we need all of the high school transcripts for that process. And then we also have your college essay, of course, and then we have 2 Emerson-specific writing supplements that you complete. I would say when it comes to the college essay, it does play a pretty significant role in the application process. We like to hear, authentic and true stories from the student. So I highly encourage students to take time and effort into that. With the 2 writing supplements, we have a major specific essay. Basically, students are able to talk about what specific major that they're interested in studying at Emerson and why. And then there's a creative essay prompt where you can choose between prompt A or prompt B. Prompt A is if you were to title the story of your life, what would it be and why? Because so much of our curriculum at Emerson is really centered around storytelling. And then the other prompt would be, at its core, how does community best benefit either the individual, the whole, or both? So you can choose between either of those. And then we are a test optional school, so you do not need to submit ACT or SAT. You can if you'd like. The mid-range 50% for the ACT is going to be a 30 to a 32. And then for the SAT, it's a 1280 to 1410. I would encourage you, if you are a student who's taken standardized tests and you fall within that 50% range, it would be a good idea to submit them. But again, it's optional, so you don't need to do it. And then our average GPA at Emerson for new first-time applicant is about a 3.71. So it is a pretty competitive school. We've got an acceptance rate of about 41%, although certain majors may be a little bit more competitive than others. So for instance, we think musical theater, theater and performance, any of those performing arts majors, because there's additional material such as an audition, a portfolio review, or an additional essay that you would submit. Those are also playing a factor into the college admissions process at Emerson. So we covered this earlier. There's specific programs that either require creative samples and some may be optional, such as media arts production. We also cover performing arts as well, with those additional criteria for each of those specific programs. Now to talk a little bit about financial aid, because I know this is definitely a big topic when it comes to new first-time applicants. The cost of tuition, or full cost of attendance, I should say. So if we think about sticker price, so the sticker price in terms of full cost of attendance with room and board, tuition, fees, insurance, textbooks, all of that good stuff comes out to about $76,000, although we do offer multiple different scholarship grant opportunities for students. I'll talk about need-based aid first. So if you want to be considered for need-based aid, which would be through the U.S. government, you would be completing the FAFSA application. And then the CSS profile would be need-based aid through the institution. So you would submit both of those to us. There's typically a deadline for that within the fall when you apply, and then also during the spring for regular decisions. So I definitely recommend keeping an eye out for that. For merit-based aid, we offer scholarships and grants. Those ones for new first-time students can range from about $6,000 to $40,000 for our merit-based aid. So this is for students who have strong academic achievement, community service, leadership within their community. You don't need to fill out any additional materials for this. All students are automatically considered for merit-based scholarships that the moment they apply to Emerson. The only exception to that is the honors program, which I mentioned earlier. So the honors trustees scholarship, that would be, you would have to complete the essay for the honors program to be considered for that, and that one comes with that approximately half tuition scholarship for financial aid. There's lots of other opportunities for students to make college affordable too. So if you apply for different, external scholarships through your school, community-based organizations within the Morris County area of Jersey. And you submit those to us if you're admitted. Those all essentially add up. Even if it might be a smaller one, that could still essentially be your textbooks for a semester. So I highly recommend taking advantage of all of the resources when it comes to financial aid. And then these were the deadlines that we used for this application cycle from 2022 to 2023. For 2023 to 2024, for the most part, they tend to, remain the same. We offer 3 forms of admission. So there's early decision 1 and 2, which are binding, which means if you are admitted to Emerson, you are essentially committing to the school and would be required to put an enrollment deposit down. There's early action, which is a non-binding form of admission if you want to submit your application early on, but still have that opportunity to, choose between other colleges and universities that you may be admitted to, but you still want to get your application reviewed early in the process. You can certainly apply with that. And then maybe you need a little bit more time to do your research on different colleges and institutions during senior year. We do have regular decision if you want to apply during your spring semester of senior year as well. So that concludes the presentation that I put together for West Morris. This over here is my contact information if any specific questions come up later on. But I'd love to pass it back to Kara if you have any other questions that I didn't get to address that you and your students are interested in.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. This was very thorough. I think you pretty much covered everything. It sounds really exciting. I know we have a student currently there who loves it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basil.
Yeah, he loves it. So he raves about it. So thank you. I think this is helpful.
Of course. I'm glad to hear that this was a help for you guys.
Yeah.
I could also, let me just pull this up really quickly. If you do have any specific students who, are juniors right now who are interested in going through the application process, I could also send over just a sign-up link to our mailing address if they're interested in getting more info, if you do have any off the top of your head. If you don't, no worries about it, but it's a good opportunity for them. And then I'll actually be going on the road relatively soon for spring travel. And I was just curious, you guys don't happen to have any, college fairs that you're doing or are you doing anything on rep visits or SCORE in the spring?
I know there's a college fair coming up in soon though, in March. We have a college fair actually March 8th.
Is it the NJACAC one?
No, we have one at West Morris coming, at our high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I know there's other ones, yeah. But the West Morris one is next week. But if you ever, and then we'll be doing them again in the fall.
Of course,
so
yeah.
I can pass that on to our to Mr. Cusack, who runs the college fairs, if you'd like to come.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
I know next week I'm actually doing the large one.
The large one, yeah. Okay.
The one in Edison.
Okay.
So the National College Fair, that's the one I'll be attending. But here, I can go ahead and put this in the chat. So this one over here is just the registration link for any students that you do have interested if they're juniors and want to get more info about us.
Okay, great. Yeah, definitely. We'll pass that on.
That sounds great. I really appreciate you taking the time to have me, share everything with your students. It's always a, exciting time where we're transitioning from reading the applications to going back out and recruiting the students. And likewise with you guys, I know it's you're transitioning into getting ready for the decision releases to come out and all of that stuff.
Yes. All right. Yes,
All right.
thank you.
No problem. You have a great rest of your day, Kara. Take
Yeah,
care.
you too. Bye.
Bye.